Hey YouTubers, it's Steve again coming from Rescape, my channel that seeks to aid and benefit people by helping them be more informed or aware of their fundamental perception of reality and how safely altering that can change who they are as a person or who they want to be or what they want to do, or maybe help them be aware that they can do things that they didn't know they could do. And then when large groups of people become aware of these things that they can then alter in themselves to change the world instead of just trying to change the world and then not being able to, but changing themselves and then having the world change from that. Based off your fundamental perception of reality is what you then desire, and then you'll do what you want to do. Everybody does what they want to do, and everybody wants to do based on what they think is possible. So today I'm going to do a fun one. Today I just got done watching Star Wars for the second time this weekend in 3D IMAX, and that was supposed to be my first time with my family, but I cheated and went with my Kung Fu school last week and watched it on opening night, and first time watching Star Wars since I've been on my journey, or however you want to call it. And so what I found was very peculiar relations between light and dark side, and then what that might carry on in real life, or what are the principles behind that, or what was someone thinking when they came up with the light or dark side. And one of the things my teacher told me with training is that when you do energetics, you train it with yi, which is mind intent. And because mind intent is very dispassionate and very unbiased, and you don't get involved yourself in something, you can think on something and then change your mind to think about something else and doesn't stick with you. The counterpart being Shen, which was first described as emotional intent, where basically you work yourself up into hysterical laughter, and then that energy you get from laughing, you can then hello, oh boo boo, you basically take those feelings, like you make yourself really angry or really happy, and then you channel that energy and then use that for energetics, and how that can be really powerful, but then at the same time unstabling. Because, like, let's say for example you make yourself really angry, and then what happens if you can't put that anger back away and you stay angry? And so with the yi intent, you can put it back away. Not emotional intent, not as. I've actually got a new cat, so Glow is growling because there's another cat here, and she doesn't get along with Glow, and so I've got her locked up in the bathroom right now until this video is over, so I can keep Glow, because Glow likes to be with me when I'm doing videos. But anyway, so they're using their emotional intent, or they get very irritated with each other, and they use that to be like, stay back, or however the cat talk works. So it's a common thing. You use both. Everybody uses both every day. But with the light or dark side, it's very, very interesting that the light side stays away from emotion or passion, and that's almost completely what the dark side does. The light side is very disciplined in their mind and focused, very highly ordered, and they stay away from emotional attachments, even from family members. And they don't get married and things like that. And then, so they do the yi training because they're very intent and focused in what they do, and their oneness is in that. And then with the dark side is what you're encouraged. So what are you encouraged to do? To embrace the rage or the anger inside you and use that for power. That's exactly what Shin training is. Or that's one kind of emotional training. There's all sorts of different emotions you can use, obviously, but that's definitely a powerful one. Or like for Shin training, one of the things you can do is you just very detailed imagine your family being murdered in front of you while you're like tied up or something. You watch and you really go through your mind in every detail, and you really bring forth the horror of that event in your mind, and you encapsulate that. And then what you can do, if you make it so, let's say you get in a fight, someone surprise attacks you, you immediately go to that state where you have that feeling of horror and anger in you, and then how much differently would you fight in that emotional state of just being completely wrecked and just like you have nothing left to lose, and it's just a horrific situation. You just want everything to die, and to be able to trigger that instantly, basically have a trigger for that. And that's one thing from what little I know, what Shin training can do. I've been advised to stay away from it, and I have stayed away from it. So these are just things like third-party things, but they call it emotional energy. But really, what it is, it's your spirit. It's your spirit. Shin means spirit in Chinese. And like when you get happy or angry, like that's a reflection of the quality of the spirit that you have at that time. So one of the things that like maybe the light side people would have as their confidence comes from being at peace or relaxing themselves, because they understand that like they're in a position of superiority or whatever, and then the strength of the dark side would be like, but they don't have to be in a position of superiority. It's like I can have the power, you know. So you've got the dark side with their belief that they're the better one, and the light side with their knowing they're the better one. And then the dark side wants to make the light side believe that they're the better one. The dark side's the better one, and then the light side has to maintain that repose. This goes into the spiritual warfare video I did a while ago, or a few weeks ago. But the carryovers are very, very real. Like energetics can, like if you ever heard about Demok or like Death Touch, like you can put your emotional energy into energetics and have the energy take on the quality of the emotion. And if you have explosive emotional energy triggers, like that sounds like something the dark side would love to do. And then like how the light side would counter that would just being very like reposed and calm or whatever. And so when you see, so like with Luke Skywalker and Emperor Palpatine is trying to get Luke Skywalker to come out of that repose so he can turn him into the dark side. You know, like let your anger fuel your, you know, or let your hatred fuel your, or whatever. When he's like, you know, fighting with Darth Vader with lightsabers, and then, you know, strike me down or whatever. And Luke Skywalker finally gets to the point where he's like, no, I'm not going to do that. He just makes the decision. That's what the light side is. The reason that you don't have dark side Jedi being tempted to go to the light side is because the light side is a more highly ordered state. So like if you have a clean room, it's a lot easier to make a clean room dirty than a dirty room clean. Or the universe is tending towards a state of disorder because it's more likely, any state is more likely to be in a disordered state than an ordered state. So there has to be a level of intent to maintain an ordered state, and that's what the light side is doing. The light side is always choosing to remain good, and then the dark side can just do whatever the hell they want. They're completely free, you know, or they think they are. Of course, the dark side consumes them, and they become more and more of a zombie, and they think they're free when really they're losing control of themselves and losing their free will, but they don't realize that, you know, until it's too late. And then the light side has, you know, they have complete freedom, you know, and to the extent where they have complete control of themselves. They have very good self-control, but then there's always that little piece in the background, like, oh, but you can do whatever you want, but you can't go there because that leads to the dark side. And so you can see there's like different kinds of freedoms there. One by knowledge and discipline, and then one by ignorance and just giving in. So it's like, are they really free if they just give in to their passions? Like, what if they don't want to have those passions for a while? Like, do they have a choice? And so the thing with Shen training, I'm sure, in real life is that you get to the point where you think that you're good, and then you realize there's some decisions that you need to make that you feel like you're no longer able to make. You could be victimizing yourself, but like, but there's a block there. So, man, Glow's getting upset. So, and again, these things are natural too. You get in a fight, you're gonna have the adrenaline pumping through you. Like, you don't need to be trained to do that. One of the reasons people freeze in dangerous situations is because our bodies aren't made to take that level of energy to go through us all at once, and so it can't process it, and so it freezes. It's not the natural response. It's the response, I believe, with the modern society, of just not being in dangerous situations periodically. So it's just sort of like an unreal experience for people that just lived in the modern world, and then suddenly they're in a life or death situation, so that they freeze. So Shen training would help get over that, and Shen training is not a bad thing. You know, it's just has the potential to be dangerous, and so, but anyway, I thought there was the clear parallels there between the light and the dark side, and then Yi training, or mind intent training, and then Shen training, which is emotional, spiritual training. And I just want to put that down on a video, and then. And if people know about Yi and Shen and like the different kinds of training, I'm very limited on where those go just so far in my training, more so in Shen than Yi. But if anybody else has, like, you know, it's like, oh yeah, and also this part of the movie when you do this, and there's that, and, you know, with the lighter or the dark side, like I would be very open to learning more about what that was, and then see who wrote these scripts originally. Like, this isn't, someone didn't make this up. Like, there's definitely Eastern principles behind the Jedi. So anyway, so I will leave it at that. If you have any questions, post in the comments, and I will see you guys next week. Thanks. Bye.